fam, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please, if you're watching for the first time, do well to subscribe, click on the notification bell and stay tuned for more videos. So today I want to show you how to make the yummiest meat pie ever, and I hope you do learn one or two things. So stay tuned. Let's go. I'm using 5 bowls of potatoes for this recipe, so I'm washing them. So the next on my list, I'll be cutting the spring onion into very tiny bits as well. I usually like this to add that extra flavor, that's zestiness at the end. Okay. The last vegetable I'm going to be using will be the carrots. So I'm not going to use up to a full bulb of onions. I'm just going to use barely half, and this is it. Just to give it that flavor. You know, onions has this thing. There is this thing about onions. It makes your food quite sweet, even without much artificial seasoning. Yeah. We have all our ingredients for the filling. So this is all the ingredients for the filling. So here we have our diced potato, finely diced potato. Here we have our finely chopped onions, finely diced carrots. We have our green spring onions, and then we have our minced, roughly chopped meat. So it's minced meat. So we have the last ingredient for the meat pie filling, which is the corn flour. So I didn't show that in the other part, I just included it now. So I'm just going to proceed to adding water. And what this does is to thicken your sauce, you know, to make the filling very thick. Here we have the full ingredients we need for this recipe. And add my oil. So you don't need a lot to... So you spread it around your pan or your pot, going with your onion. Now I'll just let that sit for a few minutes, and then I go in with my minced meat. So one of the tricks to getting this right is to make sure that you do not add too much oil, because when you do, you might risk having like a soggy meat pie inside. That's the filling. I'm just going to add just 1 cube of seasoning. And a little bit of salt. signs to look out for to check if your minced beef is actually cooking well is that it's going to cook out its own juice, so you don't need to add water at this point. So we can allow that to sit for some time. You can see the juice, it's beginning to cook out its own juice, so make sure not to add water to this recipe. Our meat is quite soft and tender, and you see all that juice. So in here I have my thyme, so I'm just going to add a little, give it a good mix. So now I can add my potato that it cooks very well, my carrot, so that it begins to soften. At this point, it's safe to add a little more water if you feel like, to loosen up the consistency. And here I'm adding a little water. You can taste this to see if you need any more seasoning or salt. I personally advise not to add too much salt or too much seasoning cubes at the very beginning, is because in your dough you're going to add some salt. So you may have an over salted meat pie at the end of the day when you add enough salt to taste here and still go ahead to add salt to the dough. So you just moderate it. So you can allow this to sit for 5 to 10 minutes, after which it is good. I'm just going to add a little of our slurry, and then at this point I'm going to add just a little of Cameroon pepper. Lastly, just for extra flavor, anything that has to do in the family of onions I love, so I'm just going to add this, sprinkle it. I don't want it to cook almost at all. My filling is ready. Alright, so we allow it to cool down before we start filling it in the dough. So we proceed to making the dough now. So in here I have 5 cups of flour, and I'm just going to transfer it to a bigger bowl. I'm going to add 1 spoon. Spoons of sugar, and I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go in with our margarine. This is 250 grams of margarine. So I'm going to use almost 1, but I'm not going to finish it. By the way, I've washed my hands. So this is what I have left. So I barely used 250 grams of the margarine. So when you're done mixing, you're going to get a consistency like this, So the next thing I like to add is my egg. So the reason for adding this egg is that it makes the dough extra crusty, let me put it that way. And then a little water. So I like to add my water bit by bit. Alright, so here we have our dough. So we're just going to perfect the kneading. So we're going to cover it and put it in the freezer. Now our dough is ready. It's time for us to start rolling. So I'm just going to So I'm going to substitute with this bottle. So you're going to press it down to make sure it's properly seated inside this meat pie molder. Distill it with water. So use water on the edges. So now this is what your meat pie should look like when you're done. Anyway, my egg wash, so it gives it the flaky brown crusty look. Sure you like that part. And then I made some bigger, I made some smaller, bigger sizes for the adults, smaller sizes for the kids. Here I have my meat pie loaded, so we're just going to go ahead and we're trying to see if it is ready. Ooh, can you see that? So I don't have the regular toothpick, so I'm just going to use my dental floss. And see, once you check with a toothpick, the wooden one or this, and it doesn't come out soggy, it means your meat pie is ready as it can ever be. So this meat pie right here is super ready. So I'm going to bake the second batch shortly after this. So this is the finished look of my meat pie. Ooh, it is flaky outside, crusty flaky, and then very yummy and soft on the inside. Hey guys, so I hope I've been able to convince you that you can make your own meat pie from the comfort of your home. So if you did enjoy my videos, give me a thumbs up, click on the notification bell, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!